Hey guys, here's a really quick video teaching you a really good strategy on how you can control your emotions, how you can control your state, because it's really important to control your state when you come across like the common dyslexia problems. And oftentimes we go to our problems like, oh, I said no, I want this again, this feels bad. But if we go to our problems in a like motivated state, like yes, I'm going to do them, I'm going to take them, I'm going to be solution oriented and solve them, we can tackle them in so much more success rate and be so much more better and find strategies around the problems so much more efficient. So guys, I hope you enjoy it and take something valuable. It's really short and clear. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be, or in other words, conquer their dyslexia? That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. What's happening, guys? I hope we're doing all right. I hope we're doing good. Now, what I want to talk about today is really, really, really important. And it's about how the first steps we can use to take responsibility of our dyslexia and responsibility of our lives. And here are the first three things we have to become conscious of and take responsibility over in our lives. Now, these three things are basically three decisions that we're making all the time that massively dictate the quality of our lives, and massively three really important forces. And oftentimes we're like, if we aren't conscious of these, we'll be making these decisions unconsciously, and we're making them right now as they're sitting there right now. And I remember when I was learning this, I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. These three decisions I'm always making, and I know I'm always making them, and if I just change them, I'd feel so much more different. I'd feel so much more in control of my life, okay? So I want to get into them, and I really want us to understand this and take this in. And so when we're living our lives, we have dyslexia, yes, things are hard, yes, things are challenging, and we really want to master it. And for example, if you want to conquer our dyslexia and really let nothing really stop us, here's where you've got to start. First two things. The first thing is focus. Take responsibility of your focus. What do you focus on? And focus is so powerful, and you know it's in your control. You can decide to focus on different things. It's hard not to focus on something or not to think about something, but it's really easy to decide to focus on, to think about something. Okay, focus is critically important. Tony Robbins says wherever focus goes, energy flows, energy goes to that thing. For example, if you're always focused on how you don't want things to go, if you're always focused on what you don't want to happen, that's what you experience. If you, like, for example, with fear is a massive thing that stops people a lot of times. I feel it too, but oftentimes fear is worse than the actual thing itself. Because, like, for example, in the mornings, when doing workouts, sometimes I can fear it, not look forward to the actual doing of it. But when I'm doing it, it's not as bad as I think. Like having a cold shower, having the fear of a cold shower is worse than just doing it. It's that fear that stops us, and we're focusing on what we don't want to happen. But if you move our focus on what we do want to happen, it feels so different. If you focus on what we do want to happen, for example, how we want to feel, what we want to do, how we want things to go, it'll be so much more empowering. It'll be so much more, good. If you focus on not like, oh, everything you have to cut out for your diet, if you focus on everything you will gain, if you focus on who you want to be at the end of the day with dyslexia, or who you want to become, there'll be so much more empowering, and you'll be pulled towards it so much more, instead of you have to push yourself away from all the things that you don't want. Because focus is critically important, and right now you're deciding what to focus on. Deciding what to focus on. If you're listening to this, if you're not, if you're looking at the birds, if you're focusing on this app, if you're focusing on work, you're focusing on school, you focus on worrying about something, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. Or you can decide to focus on the negative stuff, or you can decide to focus on what's actually going to empower you, basically move you forward. And it's always good, for example, if you're not doing a lot, it's good to focus on things that are positive. So anyway, first one's focus. Second one, meaning. What things mean to us. And this is the most underrated one by far. Because the meaning we pull from the situation dictate what we believe, dictate how we feel, dictate how we're going to act in the future. And the meaning is critically important. For example, is this the end, or is this the beginning of something? Is this going to be like this forever? Is this who I am? Does this mean I'm dumb? Does this mean I can't do it? Does this mean everyone discriminates against me? Does this mean I can never get a job? Does this mean I can't make any friends? Our meaning to the situation dictates what we can believe about the situation. And because a lot of times we make our meaning subconsciously. And oftentimes it comes up with random stuff because human beings are meaning-making machines. We are meaning-making machines. We make meanings up all the time about what things mean, about who I am, about who you are, what you do, why you're listening to this right now. Whenever meaning comes up, and basically the purpose of making a meaning is so we know if it's good or not. So if you know if you're going to link more pain to or pleasure to. And if you have a meaning that basically dictates that this is a good thing, more positive than it is negative, then we want to do it more. And if it's a negative thing, we'll be like, okay, how can we not do it more? Then we come up with a belief that makes us act in a certain way. But meaning is so important because when you're going through a hard time, we decide, okay, what does this mean? Okay, I tried this and I failed. What does this mean? And make it consciously, because if you make it consciously, it's more likely to be empowering and more true. It's like, oh, I failed this time. Then if you do it unconsciously and have all the pain associated with it, you're like, okay, I'll never do this again. I'll never be able to do that. So the second thing, we've got to start taking responsibility of now, moving forward, is the meaning we pull from situations. And the third and final thing is action. What are you going to do? Are you trying to rebuild it? Do you want to try and get to do that thing, try and learn that thing, try and work on the problem, or give up? What are you going to do? And the action is 100% up to you. It's your responsibility of taking that action. Okay? It's not mine. It's not anyone else. It's not how you feel. It's you. Those people dictate what they do based upon how they feel. But ultimately, a good thing with motivation is like you do it, then you get motivated. You don't motivate, then you do it. And let's think about that. And it's so critically important. So anyway, these three things, guys: focus, meaning, and then action. Focus, meaning, action. Three things we have to start taking responsibility of today and now.